Danny O'Sullivan walked out of Ballydehob one day. Ballydehab's in West Cork. And he was going up, Ballydehob is Gaelic for two rivers. And Ballydehab's a lovely little village in West Cork. The river comes down and it splits and goes out either end and joins up again just before the harbour. But Danny O'Sullivan was taking a walk one day and he was going up Church Lane and behind the dike, the dry stone wall, he heard this voice. Oh, sure, I heard this voice. He goes, he says, you know anything? He says, I think that's a leprechaun. He says, I bet you're fine, that's a leprechaun. So he's listening to this. So he found out roughly where it was, and he dived over the wall, and he grabbed this thing. And he went, what are you? He says, I'm a leprechaun. Now, it's well known that in Ireland, if you capture a leprechaun, he has to show you where a pot of gold is. All right? So Danny O'Sullivan hang on to this little guy, with his arms hanging at the bottom of me, And I don't know if you know it, but there's a lot of Japanese tourists in Ireland. So he turned around and says, Kodomo tomidaki presento, compact des, don Grieve. Okay, so nobody speaks Japanese. Anyway, he kept hold of this little leprechaun. And he says, right, you have to show me where the gold is. So they walked down to this tiny little loch, which is, for those who don't know what a loch is, it's a little piece of water. And it had all these bulrushes around it. And he walked up to this particular one by directions from this little leprechaun, and he says, right, it's underneath there. And he says, right, well, I haven't got anything to dig. So he decided, he took the beard of the leprechaun, because they've also got big long beards. And he tied it round this bulrush. Okay? And he says, now you stay there. And of course he has to stay there because he's honour bound that he has to show this guy, Danny O'Sullivan, where the gold is. So Danny rushes off home, gets a shovel, comes back again. And while he's been gone, all the leprechaun's friends have all gathered round. And they say, what are we going to do? I don't know, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Because they're honour bound, they can't just cut his beard and bugger off, They have to actually honour the fact that somebody's caught a leprechaun, and that leprechaun and the leprechaun kind have to give this man his pot of gold. Of course, they hate doing that. What's the point of having a pot of gold if you have to give it to somebody else, isn't it? So they thought for a while. So it's all the talking going. They've come up with an idea. So they went all round this little loch, and they all tied their beards to the bulrushes. And they all cut their beards off at the same time. And that's why in West Cork, near Ballydehob, is the only little loch in Ireland that has bearded bulrushes.